What's going on, everybody? It's Wednesday. I'm Greg Ehrenberg here to break down all the best NBA bets for the Wednesday slate. And we got a big one, lots of games here. And a game actually got canceled. The Wizards-Pistons game not going to be played today due to some weather conditions and teams not being able to travel. So if you guys placed any bets for that, those ones are going to be voided. As you guys come in, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave a comment below to let me know what you think about my bets for today. And then also just any other questions or comments you have for myself. I always check those out in the comment section. And you guys have been super supportive as of late, which I appreciate because we have been on a hot streak as of late, although that did come to a little bit of a halt last night. Ran into bad luck on one bet, which was I had Patrick Beverley for over 2.5 rebounds. It was a plus money bet. Had some good closing line value on that too, because it actually got up to minus 120 when I had it at plus 110. And then what ends up happening, Patrick Beverley unexpectedly gets ruled out. So I know a lot of people are messaging me and saying like, hey, I can't find the Patrick Beverley prop or he isn't playing. And I usually record these in like the early afternoon. And oftentimes there'll just be information that I don't know at that point. So yesterday, Patrick Beverley, when I recorded, I placed bets and he wasn't on the injury report. There was no indication he was injured, and then he got ruled out unexpectedly. So that bet got voided. And then I had one other bet. It was on Brandon Ingram over 1.5 threes at plus 155. He actually had a three on one of the first possessions of the game and then didn't have any for the rest of the game. So that ended up being a losing bet, officially 0-1 on my bets for yesterday. So it was the first time that we had a losing slate in about a week, and hopefully we get a new streak going today. So hopefully we have a good profitable slate today, and we move forward and get another streak of like 4 or 5 days in a row of profit. And if you guys want more information from myself, I've got a premium betting Discord that you guys can get access to for 1 week for 50% off using the link that we have below. So you go check it out, 50% off your first week, and then decide if it is a product that is for you or not. And in there, it's not just myself, but all the other guys on the YouTube channel posting additional bets, sweating bets with you guys, answering questions. If you guys want to check that out, 50% off your first week using the link below. Let's break down the Wednesday slate. These are my favorite bets of the night. So to start us out here, I have over 7.5 rebounds for Jakob Poeltl. And you know, it's pretty interesting looking at Poeltl's recent games, because if you just looked at his box score, you would assume his minutes are pretty limited right now. That is not the case. What is the case is the San Antonio Spurs suck, and they get blown out so frequently that it limits the minutes of Jakob Poeltl. So he only played 22 minutes last game, but the game before in a competitive one against the Suns, where the Spurs only lost by 10, big feat for the Suns, big feat for the Spurs to only lose by 10 points. We actually got 33.5 minutes out of Poeltl in that game. Finished with 13 rebounds, 8 points, 6 assists. So it was a pretty well-rounded box score from Poeltl. And once again, that was a somewhat competitive game. The games before that, 22 minutes, 23 minutes, 16 minutes, 24 minutes, 21 minutes. These games were mostly blowouts, though. But when we see the competitive games, we're getting 30-plus minutes out of Jakob Poeltl. And that's where I think there's a lot of upside in his rebound prop. So something else also that I actually did this morning, I also laddered some of his alternate lines. Like you could get him at 12-1. You get him for 12 plus rebounds, 10 plus rebounds, and get much wider odds over on FanDuel. So I just took some stabs on those, but I think the best bet here is still the Jakob Poeltl over 7.5 rebounds. And look at his numbers for the year, where he's been a really good rebounder. Just under 26 minutes played per game this year for Poeltl. He's averaging 9 rebounds per game. And like I said before, he played 33.5 minutes in a competitive game as late. There's a lot of upside in the rebounds here for Jakob Poeltl. He's in a good matchup against the Kings. Should be up pace. The spread is only 8 points, so hopefully it isn't a blowout and we get full run out of Jakob Poeltl. If that's the case, I do expect double-digit rebound total. So my first bet of the day, Jakob Poeltl over 7.5 points. If you guys want to make $200, just the easiest way possible tonight, sign up at DraftKings Sportsbook using the link that we have below. Because when you sign up using that link, your first bet is going to pay out $200 on DK, regardless of if that bet wins or loses. So just throw $5 on anything you like. Maybe it's a big favorite that you think is going to win. Maybe it's something like the Jakob Poeltl over on his rebounds prop. That also makes sense. But as long as you sign up using our link, it doesn't even matter if the bet wins. It pays out $200 no matter what. But one thing you just have to make sure of is to use that link, because that's how DraftKings knows that we sent you. And it also confirms you're going to get that $200 when you place your first bet. If you or anybody that you know has a gambling problem, call or text the number 1-800-GAMBLER. And now my other bet I have today, just 2 of them. It's under 31.5 points for Kyrie Irving. And You know, it's not all that long ago that I took an over on Kyrie. I bet over 29.5 points in a game pretty recently against the Detroit Pistons, and he ended up scoring 40 points in that game. But I'm looking the other way now and taking an under on Kyrie. It's the same situation because, you know, we still have Kevin Durant out for the Nets, and that certainly benefits the scoring numbers for Kyrie. But I do think there's something else that we should consider when it comes to him now, and that's the matchup. We've got a really difficult matchup against the Boston Celtics where it's one of the better defenses in the NBA that Kyrie Irving is going to have to face. But there's another thing here that I think should play a factor. Ben Simmons is out for the Nets, and usually when a key player is out for a team, it benefits the scoring of the other starters. I think it's different when Ben Simmons is out because Ben Simmons is such a low usage player and takes so few shots that actually replacing him in the starting lineup with anybody else should mean that we get a decreased scoring output from Kyrie Irving because it's somebody who we should assume is going to take more shots than Ben Simmons. Look at the recent games for Simmons. 11.8% usage rate, 16.4, 13.5, 14.3. As we know with Ben Simmons, this is a guy who simply does not score very often. He's only had one game with more than 10 points since December 23rd. So think about that. Since Christmas, only one game with more than 10 points from Ben Simmons. You replace him in the starting lineup with anybody, giving more minutes to Joe Harris, giving more minutes to Seth Curry. These types of guys being in the starting lineup does mean that's a little bit less shot volume to go to Kyrie Irving, and compounding that with the difficult matchup against the Boston Celtics, I think it does make sense to shade towards the under here with Kyrie. We've got him projected for 28 points in our projections over at NBA Bet Pro. That is our new prop betting tool over at Stokastic.com. You guys get access to for 7 days for 50% off using the link below. And I do agree with the projections we have here on Kyrie Irving just because of all the things I said. Tough matchup, and then Ben Simmons being replaced with higher usage guys in the rotation. I'm taking under here on Kyrie Irving, under 31.5 points. So summing up my two bets for the day, I've got Jakob Poeltl over 7.5 rebounds, and then also Kyrie Irving under 31.5 points. Let me know what you guys think about these below in the comment section, but also before you leave, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and good luck tonight. See you back here tomorrow.